Hey friends, it's Suzanne. Confidence Camp, day 1. To breathe and realize that the internet connection where I am right now is not strong enough to sustain Instagram, and therefore the lag time was so long for people that I'm adjusting, adapting, improvising, and recording a video that I'll post on my website here shortly. So I'm going solo. We're changing plan. And it's humbling. And this is where confidence comes from. This kind of course change right at the beginning of an event that I really wanted to have done really well. This could have crushed me in the past. And I can speak to it now that this is where confidence comes from. Confidence comes from being out of your head and in your life so that you can adapt, improvise, and overcome. And that's what we just did. So here we go. I get to record a video by myself in this living room right here, right now, knowing that the video will come through just fine and praying that being able to post it will all work out, because my challenge with technology and getting things to Confidence Camp team is kind of comical at this point. So here we go. I'm blessed to bring you Confidence Camp today because I needed confidence. If I think back to my beginning journey on ending my long run in survival, ending my long run in living in my head and coming back into my life, it was confidence. It was confidence in the gifts I've been given, confidence in the fact that the universe has my back, love has my back, God has my back is the term I use. Confidence that I can have a vision and I can bring it forth. I've been blessed many, many times in my life to see something and then be able to bring it into fruition. See something, go for it, and get it. I've also been blessed many times in my life where I saw something and I didn't believe I deserved it, or I didn't see how to get there, and therefore I didn't go all the way. And then I didn't get it. And that undermined my confidence. Every time I felt like I had tried and then failed and then didn't get something, it kept undermining my confidence, which got really challenging after a period of time. So I bring you Confidence Camp to come out of survival, which is what the head does. The head tries to hold on. The head believes it's in control, but life's in control. We're not. Life is. So I ask you to take a big breath right now. I ask you to start, even with closing your eyes for a moment. Take a huge breath into your lungs, into your heart. Let your shoulders come up towards your ears and then drop your shoulders down your back. Exhale your breath and allow yourself to know you're in exactly the right place at exactly the right time, and all is well. Take another big breath in and imagine it coming up through the bottoms of your feet. When we're focused on our breath, we're not in our heads. We're focused on shifting our physiology. And that's what it takes. It takes coming back into focusing on what we want, how to be who we really want to be, how to be present in our life right here and right now. Big breath and relax. Allow your bottom, if you're sitting down, allow your bottom to be 5,000 pounds on that chair. I'm wonderfully, comfortably seated right now. My feet are on the floor. I got this cozy blankie in my lap on a nice chilly day. And I'm here for Confidence Camp. I want to impress upon you that you can live confidently each day of your life. No matter what your circumstances currently are, you can have the confidence that once you can see better, you can have more. Once you can see your next step, you can take it. Once you can feel that you're made for more, you can create that feeling. You can create that reality. Breathe. Allow yourself to feel that. Allow yourself to arrive right now. I'm very, very intentionally moving slowly today. I'm moving slowly for myself, and I'm moving slowly for you to show you that when we move slowly, when we show up fully where we are, we get clarity. And I can tell you there's been a lot of energy for me to get here today, for me to create the Confidence Camp playbook this weekend. I had so much fun doing this art. If you haven't yet received the Confidence Camp playbook, then text CC to 303-529-1585 and I'll get it to you. The Confidence Camp playbook is like a little coloring book. It's like a little guidebook, a map to go from where you are to where you want to be in a really simple way. It's just a note from a friend. Okay, so let's dive in. This Confidence Camp is about remembering your greatness. Every one of us was born into greatness. We were conditioned into mediocrity. You were not born mediocre. You were not born in fear or survival. You were born in brilliance. You were born in greatness. You were born to thrive. And the people around you, the culture around you, the things that have happened in your life have conditioned you into smallness, have conditioned you into the patterns that you're currently running. And if you're not fully living the life you crave, then the patterns you're currently running are not serving you. And this camp is about seeing those patterns and then creating new patterns. Because once we see where we are and we see where we want to go, then we can build the bridge to close that gap. And not until then, not until we get really honest with ourselves. So I want to make sure for camp you've got your playbook, ideally, printed out, and or paper, blank paper, and pens, crayons. I recommend bring your colored pens and bring your crayons. You bring what works for you. Make this camp simple, playful, like kindergarten, like that calming, that clear, that much fun. Because when we have fun, when we're playful, anything's possible. When we're serious in our life, beating our head against the wall, trying to figure it all out, we're dead. I know that feeling. I also know the feeling of freedom, and I want the feeling of freedom for you. I want to condense in Confidence Camp my years of exploring what makes people happy. I had everything. I had the extraordinary, privileged American life. And I was starving on the inside. I was craving something more. I was pleasing other people. I was doing all the right things. I was raising my kids and giving them my everything. I was all these things that I thought I should be, and yet on the inside, starving to be the love that I was, starving to be authentically, silly, playfully, strong, beautifully me. Freedom is being who we were born to be. Freedom emotionally, spiritually, financially, socially, physically, psychologically, freedom is what I want for every being. I call it total liberation for all beings. Because what I know to be true is when we are authentically being ourselves and we're free of all the stories and all the belief systems that have held us in bondage up until now, when we live with that freedom, we unconsciously give permission to every person we come into contact with to live at that level of freedom. And that is what will save our world. There's no fight, there's no war, there's no push, there's no gathering of stuff that will save our world. The only thing that will truly change this world is for each one of us to take 100% responsibility for where we are right now and who we are becoming. True happiness, truly feeling good, which is the underlying craving of everything we do, truly feeling good is the craving. And when we truly feel good because we're not attached to anyone else's stuff, we're truly living in our authentic, beautiful, wild, wonderful, playful self. That's the healing of the world. That's the healing of our bodies, our minds, our hearts, our earth, our families, our communities, and our cultures. Okay? Ready for it? Okay, so here's how it works. You show up for this video. Here you are. Thank you for being here. You've got your playbook. You take notes as it feels right for you. Whatever resonates with you, write it down. You do the practices as we speak to them, okay? I'm going to give you some prompts, and I highly encourage you to take the action. Knowing without doing is a huge gap in our world. So many people know a lot. They've got a lot of head cognitive knowledge, and yet it's not embodied. They're not living it. And until you truly live what you know, then you don't actually know. Most people in this world are walking a bullshit walk. Most people talk one thing and walk another thing. Confidence Camp is about coming into the confidence that what you say and what you do are in integrity and in alignment. And that you are willing and know you are able to do everything it takes to come into your alignment for you. The only right way is the way you choose and the way you make it work. I don't have any answers for you. I have the tactics and strategies to get you there. Okay? Ready? Let's go. Day one is all about your why. You will not change until you know your why. All of us, myself included, have had well-meaning intentions where we were gonna do this or we were gonna do that. We wanna get fitter, we wanna make more money, we wanna do this, whatever it is. Get healthier, eat better, stop drinking alcohol, stop doing drugs, whatever your thing is. Mine were all the societally acceptable ones. Food, exercise, pleasing other people, being the nice girl. I suffered just as much. Maybe the hangover from things wasn't as big, but it still hurts when I'm distracting myself from my emotions versus actually facing into my life. So we have to know our why. And I like snappy names for everything. I'm all about the snappy names because why is kind of ambiguous to me. But once I realized my why was my wholehearted yes, which if you look in your playbook, there's 3 blanks with WHY, wholehearted yes. Once I knew what my wholehearted yes was for fully showing up in my life, my life changed. And it's one thing to know it, and it's another thing to feel it. To feel it in my feet, to feel it in my heart, to feel it in my soul. My whole body, that my wholehearted yes is total liberation for all beings. And therefore I'm willing to walk through the discomfort of speaking up. I'm willing to walk through the discomfort of people throwing stones when I do speak up. And I'm willing to do whatever it takes to come into liberation for myself, so that those that I come into contact with, the beings I'm blessed to guide, whether individually, one-to-one or one-to-many, have that opportunity as well. And I am just as human as you are. I assure you that. I just happened to play out my journey in a public way. I have for years, where I like to share my journey. When it gets really personal for me, when I take it really personally, when I take my failures or my problems or my challenges really personally, then I know I go quiet. My mission is to continue to speak those challenges, continue to speak those vulnerabilities, so that you see that you're no different than me. And if I can do it, after what I've been up against, you can too. And that's what I know for sure. I believe for me that I've been up against massive challenge so that nobody's story scares me. And I know that you, no matter what you've been through, can make it through the next steps. Okay, so to get clear on our why, we gotta know where we are today. So take this to your paper. Where are you right now? Honor yourself right now by saying, where are you in your life? Where are you in this moment? Get really honest, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, financially, socially. Are you living your purpose, or are you pissing away your life? Are you living on point? Or are you in a relationship or a job or different things where your soul is literally dying? Get really honest. And go ahead and pause the video and give yourself 3 to 5 minutes to write on that. And then we're going to keep going. And my encouragement in this section is get really honest with yourself. No one has to see what you write right now. The reality is the only one you need to be honest with is yourself. And until you get honest with yourself, nothing's going to change. It's worth it, my friend. It's totally worth it. It's humbling, I know. When we look in the mirror and we realize it's all created right here, it's humbling and it's worth it. Alrighty. So that's reality of today, this moment. A snippet in time. And now we want to see, where are we headed? What's the target? What's the top of the mountain for you? What's that life you crave? What does that life feel like? What does it look like? What does it taste like? What does it smell like? Who's in your life? Where are you? Is your connection to spirit deeper? Are you free of debt financially? Are you speaking your truth more often? Are you letting go of people in your life that aren't bringing you closer to the life you crave? Who are you surrounded by? How much joy are you living? Allow yourself to really go in deep. Spend a few minutes. Consistently spend a few minutes tasting the life you crave. Because if you cannot see where you're headed, you won't get there. You'll spend years just spinning and just settling for good enough, when in fact you're just wandering lost. Can you imagine this? Can you imagine if you went and got on an airplane? You went to your airport, wherever you are in the world right now. You went to the airport and got on an airplane with no idea the destination. The airplane took off. It went somewhere and you landed. The truth is, for me, that sounds really fun. That once or twice or 3 times, it does sound fun because I like adventures that way. And I know that when I was living my life that way, where it was kind of like, I don't really know what I really want. I'm not really acknowledging what I really want is true. I knew since I was in college, what I wanted most of anything was the top of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I knew self-actualization was my end game, and I didn't know how to get there, and I got lost by the tyranny of how and sucked in to the material world. Sucked into, well, I've got enough money and I've got a good enough husband and I've got the kids. I don't need anything else. So allow yourself to get really honest. Where are you? Where are you taking off from? What's the destination you desire from a soul heart level? You don't have to know how. What is it you crave? And I'll just give you a little girlfriend note. You deserve what you crave. Desire is of the Father. It means of the Father. Desire comes from your soul. It's given to you. It's not something you're making up. Deep, true desire comes from your soul. My deep, true desire is total liberation for all beings. My deep, true desire is to fully know myself as a divine being in a human body at this stage. Give yourself a few minutes, pause the video, and we're going to continue right along. So here's the deal. No matter what you're craving, no matter what you really want, no matter what that destination is, you ultimately want to feel good. You want to feel good in your life. You want to feel like you matter. You want to feel like you're waking up in the morning with a purpose. You're actually living rather than surviving. And when you're becoming a better and better version of yourself, you're clearing out the belief systems, the old patterning that's held you back. Oh my God, it feels so good. I call it my kid in the candy store. When I feel like a kid in a candy store, which I feel like pretty consistently these days, anything's possible. I live my love out loud when I feel like a kid in a candy store. When I'm caught in my head, I want to crawl in a corner and not talk to anyone. It's a totally different life. So what is it for you? What's that kid in candy store? What is it going to take for you to want that so bad for yourself and all those around you, especially if you're a parent, to get so selfish that you love yourself enough to bring your gifts forth and stop holding back? If you're here in this camp right now, if you're 23 minutes in and still listening, there's something you're craving in your life that you don't have yet, and I want that for you. The more you get engaged with the brilliance of your future and the possibilities of your future, the more momentum we build. Thinking about it doesn't work. Yes, there's thinking about it. I want you to be taking action. Have your pens, have your crayons, pause the video and take the actions you need to take to get engaged and feel and taste and see and hear what you're bringing into your life, what your soul is longing for, what that deep heart craving is. It will change your world. It will get you out of here and into your life. And life is juicy. It is juicy fun. It's a delicious cycle as opposed to a vicious cycle. It's a delicious cycle to be living your life, no matter what, because the circumstances just don't matter. When you feel good, you take care of what's in front of you. When you feel good in your life, life shows up and you can improvise, adapt, and overcome. Okay, let's land this plane. Why must my life change? What has your way of living and believing cost you mentally, emotionally, physically, financially, psychologically, socially? if you remain as you are and you don't change anything, where will you be 5 years from now? We have to really feel the pain in order to initiate the true change. We have to be clear. Allow yourself to feel the costs of not being true to you. Does it cost you 7 years of your life? Does it cost you 25 years of your life? Does it cost you years of joy? Does it cost you years of happiness? Has it cost you your health on certain levels? Has it cost you your financial health on certain levels? Your relationships with your children? Your relationships with your extended family? Only you know, and only you need to know. Just be honest. Look in the mirror. Get really honest with yourself in the mirror. That's the one who's hurting, and that's the one who can heal right here, right now. Again, pause the video, write your answers, and then come right back, and here we go. Why do you really want the life you crave? What is possible mentally, emotionally, psychologically, physically, financially, socially, if you go all in for what you want? If you just want to feel happy, and you start asking questions like, how can I have fun in this moment? What do I need to do to be happy in this life? What makes sense now? It will change you. So again, pause the video and get really clear. What do you really want? What do you see in your next 5 years? How does it feel to see a vision for the next 5 years? Who do you want to become? Sometimes we don't know who we want to become, but we look at who we admire, and then we say, what do I have to do to become like that person? Taste the deliciousness of your life right now, my friends. You're worth it. So here's the deal. I'm going to share a personal story, which I started to share earlier on some level. So my dad called me Joybug as a kid, and my mom called me Lovebug. And I liked both of those names, and I'll always remember both of those names. And yet both the joy and the love got conditioned out of me for quite some time. My heart was hurting. My soul was hurting. I was in survival mode. I was doing everything I could for everyone around me, and I wasn't feeling good on the inside. And I got to a point where something had to change because I didn't want to go on living. I didn't want to keep feeling this way. I had so much materially. I had so much on the outside and so many people around me, and yet I was alone on the inside. And something had to change. And I dedicated my life to finding my way to being happy. And what it meant was some radical changes in my life with who I gave my time to, how I spent my money, and how I gave my energy away. And I can assure you that today, the level of joy and peace and calm and fun in my life is absolutely extraordinary. Doesn't mean my circumstances are perfect. I've been up against more than most people. And yet I'm grateful, and I have a massive vision. And the foundation of that vision is total liberation for me and for you, which ultimately we're all, at a core level, we're all the same. So I want you to know you are the hero of your own story. When you see what your why is, when you know your wholehearted yes, when you commit to your wholehearted yes, the actions to move forward become simple. We're going to go there. We're going to go with trusting your intuition. We're going to talk about how to get clear on your 3 steps, the power of 3, over the next couple days. For today, as we wrap up today's Confidence Camp day number 1, all I want you to get clear on are these questions we've talked about: where you are, where you really want to be, and what is that deep, wholehearted yes that feels so true and that you see so clearly and that you hear in your head, that you're willing to do whatever it takes over these coming days to make your life the life you crave. You can have it. You must have it if you want to be a part of the change in this world. You'd be crazy not to. That's what I want you to feel. You can do this. You must do it. You'd be crazy not to do it. Get clear on your why. Text it to me when you're clear. I want to hear. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, 11 a.m. on Instagram. We're going again on Instagram tomorrow. So much love. Thank you so much for showing up for Confidence Camp today. I apologize we had to improvise with technology, and that happens. Now you can enjoy it on your own schedule at any time. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. So much love, my friends. Goodbye for now.